a great month
Right.
for goal setting and stuff, and you start thinking about not New Year's resolution. I don't,
No, not
but
really.
I'm thinking, like, people think about setting goals for the year and whatever. And if you're like me, man, I'm 45 years old. It's midlife, so you have all these micro crises, right?
Right.
And then I thought, okay, what's my goal for this year? So have you thought about that, like this year, with any, like, not anything deep or anything, but any goals for this year? Anything like
Just to get, continue to get free, and just that. My goals for this year, I want to have an epic year, period. I want to buy as many houses as I possibly can, period. Meet as many people as we can, and have a year that we can cap at the end of the year and have like a big party or a celebration and be able to reflect and review. I want to be able to end the year, look back and say this was a great year and this is it in review. That's like my whole goal. If I can do that,
beautiful?
I'm good with it.
Yeah, you were talking about like getting back in shape and all that stuff. You're an athlete. Me?
Yeah. I'm an athlete.
You know what my goal is?
What's that?
My goal is at the end of this year, like at the end of this year, I can start thinking about losing weight. Like I
Thinking
go,
about
okay,
it.
like yeah, like I can just go, you know what? I think I should lose weight, but that's the goal, not losing weight or nothing. Just go. Okay.
Get your mind mentally prepared.
Yeah.
You got a year.
That's it. I got a year to get ready.
That's awesome.
That's what I want to do.
I definitely am. I like to. I guess I can still consider myself an athlete, even though I haven't played a sport in 15 years. But once an athlete, always an athlete. We're gonna take the alcoholic approach to being an athlete. I'm always an athlete, right? So
You're gonna get some email about that.
Well, listen.
From Al-Anon and AA.
Hey, you gotta do what you can to help. I support them. I support people that can identify they have a problem and keep working that. I have an utmost respect for them. But it's for life, right?
Yeah, it's for life. Yeah.
So I did start a workout regimen at the beginning of the year. The first, are we in the 4th week now?
We're in
This is
the
week
third
4.
week. Third week or something. Yeah.
I think it might be week 4.
Starting week 4, man. That's true. That's true.
So the first 2 weeks I worked out well, and at the end of the last week it was leg day. And leg day is that's my goal, is to get through a leg day without being, just mentally demoralized. I had a leg day and I just didn't want to do it. It was after a long week of working out. So I didn't do it. And then I feel bad, for not doing it. That was a Friday. So I said, I'm going to do it Saturday. I go to the gym Saturday. My body just swore I didn't do anything there. So then I feel like I have to start all over again from scratch. And then I get mad at myself. And I go a whole nother week. Haven't done anything. And then finally I get my mental together. And yesterday I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to knock out this leg. This leg routine is taking me now a week and a half just to get to. I did it, and now it hurts to sit down. I'm in physical pain right now.
Well,
but
I have a leg day too. Wednesday nights, I'm going to Popeyes. It's leg and thigh, man.
Leg and thigh.
And then next day I'm hurting too.
Yeah, I bet. Popeyes was great coming in, boy. It's rough on the other end. But I love Popeyes.
That's beautiful. That's a thing of beauty. What are you gonna do? I mean, I like KFC, but the extra crispy, I love food, man.
Yeah, what's not to love?
So that's why we're here at Laspadas, right? So
Laspadas,
the
man.
first time you and I met, really, we met at the estate sale, but
Right.
we talked, we sat down and talked.
Really
and
sat and talked down, yeah.
So it's right here in the same spot at Laspadas, and I've never been to this place. And this is like what do they call it? Like a hoagie shop, or is it a sandwich shop, or is it
This is a sandwich shop. I think they have something like the world's greatest hoagies, but it's a hoagie shop.
Okay.
And it is the greatest hoagie shop I've been to in South Florida. And obviously we're in Coral Springs. And they've been here a long, long time. But I got turned on to them maybe in June. Got an office here in Coral Springs. And got a new barbershop here in Coral Springs. I went to my barber and they was like, "Oh, I know your office. It's right down the street from Laspadas." I'm like, "Oh, what?" Like, "You gotta go there. You gotta try it out." I'm like, "All right, whatever." And I went there for lunch, and it was amazing. I mean, sandwiches as big as your head, and the price is affordable. So I went there once and I started going there like 2-3 times a week. You know, so coming here 2-3 times a week. And I just love the spot. So anytime I have anything to do, meeting folks like you, when we first met, I didn't really even know what we were going to talk about, but
We're talking about everything.
as long as we're at Laspadas, right? It doesn't matter what we talk about. It doesn't matter what it was in terms of being a really good meeting. But
yeah, the atmosphere is great. I mean, it's like you say, it's been here. I was looking at the website. I think they have been here for over 30 years.
yeah,
I mean, like in
yeah,
South
and they have a
Florida.
bunch of spots all around South Florida and Fort Lauderdale. But this is obviously the closest one to
It's
us.
it's not pretentious, man. It's like straight
Not
up.
at all.
It's I don't want to be I want to be inclusive, right?
Right.
But to me, it's guy food, man. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's what we typical. That's guy food. It's not pretentious.
not
it's-
bougie at all.
yeah.
No frills. It's just meat and herbs and vegetables and meat and cheese and
And it all tastes
not
great.
to love?
And the service is straight up. You go in, get out,
Yeah.
and it's I'll tell you
excellent.
what.
Real cool people.
So why don't we just get something to eat, and then we'll just keep talking.
Yeah, I thought you would never say that.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Come on.
So Laspadas, man. So I've never seen a monster sandwich like this, and so
And you
so
got the.
They just told us that this is not even the monster.
That's not even a monster. That's like maybe 3/4 of a monster. But a
insane.
monster has more meat and more
Take a
stuff
look
on top
at-
of it.
take a
It's
look at
gigantic.
This thing. This is amazing. This is an amazing sandwich.
This is a small.
I've got the medium. I got the medium.
You can't
Alright,
even get your
so-
mouth around this, but that's.
So we both got the roast beef. It's excellent, man. It's
I
excellent.
got roast beef from Turkey.
Yeah, roast beef and turkey. Then, what kind of cheese did you get? Provolone or the provolone, right?
Provolone cheese, spicy peppers, hot peppers,
Oh, it's so delicious.
salt, pepper, oregano, oil, vinegar, onions, lettuce.
And I got the roast beef with Swiss, and it's got sweet bell peppers, onions, oil, and mayo and mustard. It works, and it's phenomenal. Oh,
Oh my God. I
So-
needed this.
so how did you hear of Laspadas? How did you?
My barber told me about Laspadas. Just like all good things in life, you hear about it at the barbershop.
Barbershop, yeah.
And they swore by this place. I had no idea about it. They said, you gotta try it. Just go over there and try it. Tell them I sent you. Tell them I sent you. And
No, you're addicted because you come here what, like 2 or 3 times a week?
2-3 times a week at least. At least. And like, this is lunch and dinner for me. You know, I'll eat half of this small sandwich and take the other half, and that's lunch. I mean, that's dinner later on tonight. So it's yeah, I get here as often as I can. It's quick,
You can
convenient,
see why, man. This is
and,
awesome.
and delicious.
This is awesome.
I can't overemphasize delicious.
And they've been here forever. They've been here for like, I think I run their website, for over 30 years or something.
Mm-hmm.
They've got different locations. I know they've got
They're like a staple of the community. If you grew up in Coral Springs, you know Laspadas. If you're anywhere near here, you know Laspadas.
Wow.
They hands down have the best sandwiches. Nothing pretentious about them at all. They don't skimp on anything. It's kind of a mom and pop shop, but they have 4 or 5 locations, so they're a little bigger than a mom and pop shop, but they're still family owned, and they don't skimp at all. It's not like a regular chain. They give it to you.
And the price is great too. I mean, it's
Awesome.
affordable. It's
Awesome.
great. Yeah, it's great.
You can get a giant sandwich for less than $10. And they have pickles and chips and all types of stuff.
And it's lunch and dinner at the same time. Very, very cool. So, all right. So, we talk. You and I talk about a lot of real estate. Real estate is your, is your business. Is what you do. But I was thinking the other day is why what prompted you to start your own business? Like, because a lot of people think, I want to start my own business. I want to have my own hours or whatever. But what was your idea? I know that you're in corporate America.
Yeah, corporate America. A lot of people. You're right. A lot of people have that dream about starting a business, and I was no different. A little bit of my background, I kind of had a entrepreneurial streak anyway, and the way I know it is because entrepreneurs are kind of natural non-conformists, right? We don't do well in structured environments, and if you've ever been in corporate America, it's a highly structured environment. So I was miserable, just like a lot of people probably in corporate America. I was miserable, and I was younger then. I was 27, 28. And I had no wife and kids. I had no real responsibilities other than a mortgage and a car note. And one day it just clicks in your head. And it's like, if I'm going to do this, I need to do it. Can't wait till I'm in my 30s. I got a wife and a family to support to try to do this. Well, I could. I mean, I won't say you can't do that, but I didn't want to. The idea of working 30 years in corporate America scared me to death. It scared the hell out of me. And that fear of working for corporate America drove me right into entrepreneurship. And then the question becomes, so what kind of entrepreneur am I going to be? What business are we going to be in? And I've always had a passion for real estate, always had an affinity towards real estate. I knew it was an amazing business, and I was lucky enough to, right after I left my corporate job, to be able to plug in to a real estate company and work with them for a year and really learn the ropes. And it was just kind of an amazing experience, and I just fell in love with it. It's an addictive thing. It's tough. It's very, I don't want to sugarcoat that, but once you start doing deals and you start seeing transformations in houses and you start generating the income of your own and those type of things, it just becomes an addiction, and you want to do more and more. And once you start really seeing the look on people's faces when you're kind of helping them, somebody has a house that's like, there's no way in the world anybody about this house, blow it up, because people are in those situations all the time, and you can't sell it retail because nobody's gonna pay full retail price for it. You can maybe sell it below market value, but not to somebody that has to get a mortgage, because a bank is gonna come through and they're not gonna approve that mortgage because the electrical is from 1942. And the ceiling is falling, the roof's falling. They're not going to approve that.
So these are houses that are mainly in distress, or they're...
Yeah, well, that is where we make our bread and butter, is distressed houses, where we can add value. We will buy some houses that are in good condition and already fixed up, but we have to be able to add some type of value to it so that we can have a good value proposition for the seller and a good value proposition for us from a business perspective. So those houses that are really nice, those tend to be the ones we buy if they're over leveraged. So for simplicity's sake, your house is worth $100,000 and you owe $100,000. So you can't go out and just sell your house for $100,000 because you got to pay that realtor who wants 3 to 6%, and you have to have enough to pay off all your mortgage, any liens, and then maybe you want to put a coin or two in your pocket as well. like most people do. It becomes really difficult to sell that house because that mortgage is so high. So we will, in those type of situations, we'll just take over the mortgage, and we'll be able to help a lot of people like that. They can just walk away from a house that they know they're not going to make a profit on anyway. But now they don't have to manage it. They don't have to worry about paying off the mortgage every month. We're going to take care of all that stuff for them. So those houses tend to be much nicer, prettier houses. But again, that seller has a need. They have a need at that point to get that heavy mortgage off their back so they can move on with their life. And that's the common denominator. The sellers have a need. They want to be free of the house. Houses in most cases are assets to 80-90% of people. But 10% of the people, they're really like a ball and chain to them. They're keeping them chained to this location, or chained to this payment every month, or chained to all these repairs. And people want freedom. And again, the look on their face when you're able to give them freedom and actually give them money in their pocket. So not only are you free, you actually have something to work with and rebuild and pursue your dreams, your real passion. Man, it's a wonderful.
Now, what's crazy is you talk about, and I'm going to talk so you can eat now. So when I met you, it's crazy. My brother called me, and I don't know how he found out about this estate sale that you were having. And he says, "Man, it's in Tamarack where he lives." And he says, "Alex, we got to go." And he's like a vintage record player, turntable collector, or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, "Man, they're selling this, and that." And I don't know if he stopped by the day before. I don't know how he stopped by, but he saw it. And then he told me, "Man, I want you to take a look at it." So I went with my son, my dad, and him, and that's where you and I met. We just started talking or whatever. And I've never been to a situation like that where, and I noticed people coming into the house and buying stuff like. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Like, because you mentioned something that to me is important. You said, "I want to help people," and it's not just now getting to know you and doing business with you and everything. I can say that that's true. I mean, your heart is to help people, and it's not so much we got to make money, but we also want to help people. That day, you didn't have to do that. Like, you didn't have to do that estate sale or sell whatever. You bought the property, and you could say, "I bought it with everything in it," right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, definitely. We buy properties with everything in it all the time, and people just walk away from it because they're done with it. You don't. When you're mentally done, you need to break that break. You don't want to have the hassle of clearing out the property. And that particular property, it's a nice lady selling the property, but she had a slip and fall, and she couldn't live on her own anymore. She had to go to a nursing home, and she had limited money, and she thought nobody would buy that property at all, especially in the condition it was in, and because it was filled to the brim, literally, with stuff. It was kind of just, some stuff wasn't even open, from QVC and those
It's almost
channels.
like a hoarding situation.
Yeah, it was
right?
kind of like a hoarding situation, exactly. But and that happens. So people have their stuff, so they initially contacted me about buying the stuff in the property, not the actual house. And I said, well, I don't typically buy stuff in the property. I will buy that house, and I'll take the stuff with it if that helps you out. And they was like, well, I don't think this will sell, but maybe. And we actually were able to work out a deal where not only did I buy it, we gave them extra $15,000-$20,000, which is huge. So we paid off her money. She had a very high mortgage on there, so we were able to do enough to pay off her entire mortgage and give her, some coins to help her in her transition to the nursing home. But also, she's obviously not working. She doesn't know where her next buck's coming from, and she was really attached to all the stuff she had accumulated over time. She didn't want to just give it away. She wanted to be rid of it, but she didn't want to just give it away because she felt it had value, and I felt it had value as well. So I told her as part of the deal, and this is one of the things we do because that situation was so unique, I knew it meant something to her. I said, how about I help you sell all this stuff in here, and you can keep all the proceeds from it. So now in addition to the money that we're going to give you, you can also make some extra money, because this one we had to work out some liens. It had a it had a HUD lien on it, and it also has a HOA. So we had to work through some details. So I knew it was going to take us 3 to 4 weeks to be able to close it. I love to be able to close them quick, but if you have issues, we have to work those out as well. So in between working out those issues, we started just doing estate sales, and we were doing it 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then somebody that came to one of our estate sales tipped us off and let us know that the big day for estate sales, which I didn't know, was Saturdays at 8 o'clock in the morning. So we started doing Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at that point. And we marketed everywhere, and we did really well. They made, we did it for 3 or 4 weeks, so they must have made maybe another $5,000 just off of selling that stuff. Yeah. Every day we went there, we did about $400 to $500. Every time we went there, and sometimes more. One day we did over 1,000, and it was all them. And yeah, I was out there every single day. It was super hot. Sweating our balls off, sweat. Sweating through the.
We're gonna keep that one. We're gonna keep it.
Sweating through the undies, but it gave us a relationship, and she understood that, I'm not here just to buy a house and make a profit. We're here to make sure that you're set up in the best possible position that you can be in. And the best possible position is to get rid of this house that was hanging over your head. We paid off her mortgage. She was actually in bankruptcy. We paid off her bankruptcy, and we gave her almost $20,000 in cash in her hand to live off of. And she didn't have to do a thing, And that's what we do. That's the situation where we're able to add value and over, what's the word? That's a situation where we're able to add value and kind of over deliver on what the normal real estate investor would do. So a normal real estate investor will go in there and say, yeah, I want to buy the house. I'm going to lowball you on this offer, and I want you to have all this cleared out before I close on it.
That's a cash buyer.
That's a normal investor.
Okay.
In these situations, a lot of times you're going to have to deal with an investor who's a cash buyer. Same thing as a cash buyer, because again, the banks aren't going to approve a loan if you have certain things wrong with the house, and so you need to deal with a cash buyer to be able, so you don't have to deal with the bank. And that's fine. People find themselves in that situation all the time. The cash process is way, way easier. We don't have to go through any loops. You don't have to worry about us backing out after when you get, 2 months into the deal, and now our bank is pulled the plug on us. So now we got to back out. That doesn't happen with cash deals. For a fact you're going to be able to sell it and be done with it. So that's what she was looking for. Mm-hmm. Actually, she didn't even know she was looking for it until we called her and we talked. She was looking for a way to solve a problem and to get the burden off her back. And that's the situation where people find themselves in. How do I get this burden off my back? And to be honest, I wasn't even dealing with the real sellout.
Everything is spectacular, man.
Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Delicious.
Thank you.
We love it. We were dealing with not only the seller, but we were dealing with her best friend, who was a power of attorney as well. So, there was a lot of things we had to deal with, and the main thing was get this burden off my back, help me get set up so I can go into the next phase of my life, whatever that might be. And again, most investors, I don't want to speak on most investors. Some investors, they're only about themselves. They want the house, and it's your job to clear the house out by the time I'm ready to close. Otherwise, I'm not going to close. So now you have 85-year-old ladies over there trying to figure out what to do with all the stuff in the house, because they're scared that you're going to back out on them and not close if they don't get all this done. So maybe they're calling their grandsons, if they have grandsons, and come try to move the stuff out, and they're in a panic and they're stressed out, and they're more stressed going through the process of selling their house than less stress. So our job is to make you less stress. Our job is to take pressure off of you, to make things easier for you, and that's why we handle everything from the front, from the beginning to the end, including liens, including permits, including HOAs, including bankruptcies, everything. We do it all because, and of course you're involved. We keep you abreast of what's going on. But if you don't do this every day, if this is not your business, you don't know all the loops and that you have to jump through to get a deal done.
Do they have to pay you any commission on top of anything?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's all free. Not only we do that, we also pay the closing costs as well. So we take care of everything. And there's no realtor commissions, which is a huge thing. And a lot of times, if you're at a house that you know you have to sell at a discount, right?
Which, by the way, I mean, nothing against realtors, right? I mean, this is the different side of the business.
Realtors are awesome.
And you work with realtors.
Absolutely,
as well,
I work very closely with realtors. Realtors are awesome for the right things.
Right.
So when you have a house that retail value is $200,000, you know that your house is in terrible shape and it needs all this work and you got liens and issues, and you know you can't sell it for full retail value, right? So now you already know in your head you got to sell it for a discount. You could go to a realtor and they can help you sell that property, and maybe they'll start off really high and then they'll draw down, and it'll take you 6 months or so, but you'll eventually sell that property for what a fair market value is going to be, and that's going to be a little bit lower. Maybe it's $130,000. Now, once you sold that property for $130,000 after taking 6 months of drawing it down from 200, you sold that property for $130,000. You still have to go around and pay that realtor another 6%, because you didn't have to pay the seller's commission and the buyer's commission, because it's the buyer's market now. You got to pay that realtor another 6%. So that's another $7,000 to $10,000 out of your pocket. So you've had the holding cost of holding that property for another 6 months. If you had a mortgage, you pay 6 months more of mortgage. You have the $10,000 expense of a realtor. And sometimes after you pay off your mortgage and everything else, you have nothing left. And the realtor, walks away, and they have to be paid, and they should be paid. They worked on it. So what our company does is we eliminate the need for a realtor. Yes, we're going to buy at a discount, but you're not going to get that extra fee of paying a realtor commission on top of having to sell at a discount, because we're going to buy it. We're not going to market it to on the MLS for somebody else to buy it. We're going to buy it for you. So that's kind of
cool. So there are differences between realtors and what you do, and about the loan. How quick do you know?
Oh yeah.
If you can work with them?
Yeah. So we can look at them. We can get their information. We need to know if there's a loan on the property. We need to know if there are any liens on the property. We need to know the condition of the property. So if I know the condition of the property and how much work I'm gonna have to put into it, I'll know very quickly what I can offer them, and then based on our conversation, we'll know if that's going to help them or not. Just because I can offer you something doesn't mean it's going to necessarily help that seller. We only want to do deals that actually help them. If they have different ideas about what their property is worth, then my offer might not seem like a help to them. And that can happen if their house is in great condition. Phenomenal condition, and they've had it for 10 years, and they've upgraded everything, and everything is perfect. My offer is not going to seem like a great offer to that type of person, that's fine.
So you can't work with just any home seller, right?
No,
I mean, it's just specific.
We work, and this is one of the little dirty secrets of it, but we work with maybe 5 to 10% of the market. That's it. The other 90% of the market does not need us, and that's fine. They can get way more value by working with a realtor, because the realtor is going to have access to a wide range of people that can get a mortgage and can pay a very high price for their property, and that's great. If you're in that situation, awesome, and 90% of people are. But for those people that aren't in that situation, that have a burden on their hands, that is a tough place to be, because you don't know who's going to buy. You don't know how somebody can buy. You don't know what you're going to do the next day. If the bank is calling you every single day demanding money and you don't have it, you don't know what you're going to do. So we work with those type of situations, and they're called distress situations. But anybody can find themselves in a distress situation, and our job is to make that distress situation a little to a lot less stressful and solve that problem quickly for them.
Yeah, good. So I think we've covered a lot.
Yes.
So why don't we do a last question here? So, and that way you can finish and enjoy the rest of the sandwich. And you got mayo on here. You don't want your friends to see all the mayo, all the white stuff. Okay, so let me ask you this: anybody, for instance, if I'm selling my house, what is the difference? I mean, for me, I need to sell my property like today, and I have all the stuff. what is the advantage for me as a home seller? That why go with a cash buyer?
With a cash buyer?
Yeah, with a cash buyer or an investor,
or
as
with
opposed
me
to
specifically.
let's say with a cash buyer, and then with you specifically, because there's the difference, with what Langston can provide. But why go with a cash buyer in the first place, and then with Langston or Empire REI?
Like we said earlier, the cash buyer is a situational thing. You want to go with a cash buyer if you need to go fast. If you want to make sure the person's not going to back out on you because or has a financing contingency where the bank is really the final decision maker and not that person. When you're dealing with a cash buyer, we're the final decision makers. We don't need a bank to tell us if we can or can't buy a property. We buy our properties and we work with funders and different people. So we do have stakeholders, but we don't have to go through an underwriting process or anything like that. So we can buy it very, very quickly. So you will want to sell to a cash buyer if you know you want to sell quickly. You're ready to be done with this thing right now. We can buy it it's Monday. We can buy this thing and be done by Friday. That's how fast we can work. So if you need to sell right now, you want a cash buyer. If your house is in large disrepair, especially if it's electrical things, plumbing things like that, you want to go with a cash buyer because a bank is not going to approve if they see you have electrical problems or plumbing problems or some of these other problems. A bank
And they don't have to worry about none of that stuff.
no, you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to do anything. Just we're buying it for cash for the explicit purpose to rehab it and repair it. So we're gonna go through and gut it and do more plumbing and do the electrical over and do the windows over and do the roof over. We're gonna take it all. We're gonna put all the permits. We're gonna do everything legitimately and by the book. So that's why you would want to go with a cash buyer is to get something done quick. Your house is in disrepair and you know you have to sell it for cash. All right. Now, all cash buyers are not created the same, of course, so you definitely want to get somebody that you feel comfortable with, somebody that's reputable, somebody that you know is going to close. This is a huge, 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 huge deal because what's going on now is you have a lot of people, and I don't know if I should spill these beans or not, but you have a lot of people going to these seminars and they're learning about real estate investing, which is fine. Everybody has to learn and it's a learning process. But these are effectively rookies or newbies in a real estate investing world. So if they're not experienced with dealing with all the things that come up with in the closing process, they can blow this deal. The deal can blow up for you. You know, you can get down to the end of your 30 days and you think you're about to close, and they can come back and say, we can't close. You know, for whatever the reasons may be. So you want to deal with somebody that has the experience of dealing with all types of situations to be able to get it closed. And that's what we bring to the table. We have over 8 years experience within our company. I think we have over 25 to 30 years of experience within our company. And we have also all types of tools and resources. So we can deal with any situation that may come up, and now allows us to close. We have a 98% close rate, something like that. There's only been a few houses that we couldn't close. One of them was because it had it was a $120,000 house. It had $400,000 worth of business liens on it, which we mitigate. We mitigate business liens off, and we call those creditors, and we mitigate on your behalf for free. That's not a problem. This particular problem, the seller would not admit that these business loans were his. So this seller had actually changed their name, they changed their social, and they were trying to avoid these business loans. But you know, lawyers are smart. They said, no, that's our guy, we know it for sure. And the lawyer was saying that's the guy, and he was saying, no, it's not me. And so we couldn't do the deal because we couldn't mitigate it. If you don't own up to your responsibilities, we can't help you mitigate it off. So the main thing, you know, as long as the seller is responsible and forthcoming and sincere, and we'll do the same thing with them. We'll try to be very trustworthy with them and let them know everything and be as transparent as possible. And we'll close any deal because we have the experience to overcome everything, every situation you might see in the housing thing. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing you want with a cash buyer. Do you have the experience to close? Can I trust you to do what you said you're going to do? And if you find somebody like that, you're going to have a successful deal.
Yeah, which is nice.
And if you're looking for somebody like that,
of course.
I just might happen to know a guy.
Outstanding. All right, brother. So let's keep eating. And,
I'm going to finish my sandwich.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you guys next time. All right.
Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem, guys. Anytime.
It's been a great experience. This is my second time here. I moved from Virginia about 6-7 months ago. And man, it's great.
I was very happy to hear that, man. Thank you,
awesome.
thank you.
So let me ask you a question. So a couple questions. How long have you been with Laspadas?
With Laspadas, I've been here about 4 years now. Started off, down here on the line making sandwiches, and now I've worked myself up to the assistant manager.
Awesome, man. So that's. What have your experience been, both as an employee and also as a customer? Because I would imagine you eat at Laspadas, right?
Actually, truth be told, my first time in here was to put in an application, and then I got the job. I had never eaten here, never heard of the place before.
Really?
My family's, they're from down here, so they were the ones that were eating here all the time.
Okay, all right. So what is, in your opinion, what is the experience that a customer, we were talking about that a little bit, what is the experience maybe that a customer can expect when they come to Laspadas?
Well, we're always trying to give proper and friendly service, but mostly we're trying to get the customers in and out as quickly as possible. Most people would like to just come in, get their food, go sit down and eat. We're based mostly off lunch. During the evening time, we're not nearly as busy, so during lunchtime when you come in, you've got 30 minutes. You don't want to waste time talking to us. You want to sit down, get your food, enjoy your own lunch.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, my experience is I've had the turkey, and I can remember, I think it was turkey provolone, and this time I had the roast beef and Swiss. It was superb both times. And what's your favorite sandwich?
I actually don't have one. I eat everything here. I change it up every single day. Sometimes it's a chicken salad, sometimes it's the tuna, sometimes it's the Italian, sometimes it's the monster, sometimes it's just one of my own little creations. I'm here 6 days a week, so I change it up every day.
Right. Oh, awesome. And is there maybe a sandwich that you guys sell more of than any other sandwich?
We've got 3 sandwiches we sell mostly of. They're at the top of our list. It's the Mama, the Monster, and the Italian.
All right.
Every single day.
Tell
those
us
are the
a little
ones
bit
we're
about
making.
each one.
Okay, the Italian is ham, capicola, and salami. The Monster is ham, turkey, and roast beef, and the Mama is salami and turkey.
Now you call it the monster, but I just had a monster. So what's the difference between I had what I consider was a monster sandwich. So this thing got to be huge.
The monster is actually just the 3 meats together, top and bottom. Everything else you'll have, like our Italian will be 3 meats, but it'll just be 1 meat on the top. So the monster is 3 meats, tops and bottom. That because it actually is technically a monster.
It's a monster. Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Hard to put down.
And do most people finish it off, or?
Some people do. Some people don't. I've seen big 6 foot, 7 foot tall guys, 300 pounds come in and get around, roll and barely finish it, and then a little 5 foot tall girlfriend will come in and get a large monster, everything on it, and just destroy the entire thing and eat part of his.
That's awesome.
It all depends on the person.
Awesome. All right, Brendan, thank you so much for your time, buddy.
Thank you guys for coming in. We appreciate it.